Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Cannon on this 24th of December, 2021. My God, it's like the year has gone so fast and just sort of amazing, you know. Where's all my folks in the chat? I'm not seeing you guys yet. Where's all my folks from coming from Great Britain? I'm not seeing you guys yet. Alicia B, Paulie U, Aunt BB. So happy you guys are here in the chat. Uh, Montana sunsets must be beautiful in Montana today. We got a little bit of uh, a dusting of snow today. I was almost going to do the show outside, and then I punked. I was like, "Oh, it's too cold. I'm gonna get inside." Michael Markakuli, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Um, Yeah, so Joe Kane's 84. Good to see you. Merry Christmas, Joe. Great to see you. Finest Financial over there in Rockland County. Joe's been my accountant for over 10 years. Great man. Retired NYPD Captain Joe Kane. Ramblin' Rome, Bon Natal. Yeah, I'm learning how to speak Italian, very few words. Abbondanza. I remember that word from a play I saw one time. Abbondanza. That means a lot of everything that's good, right? Uh, so, what's everyone doing today? Everyone getting prepared for Christmas Eve? I mean, it's sort of this whole hello, Gene Whitehead. Sort of this whole Omicron thing is putting a little bit of a damper on it. Like everyone's just afraid. But you know something? I think that you got to sort of take the mindset is that we're all going to get it. We're all going to get it at some point. It's uh, it's just a fact of life right now. We're all going to wind up getting it. You can take precautions from getting vaccinated, getting the a booster shot, but we're all going to get it. And with that in mind, I want you guys to say prayers for Duty Ron and his family. His wife got it, his son got it, and he got hit with it. Uh, he was having a bad cough yesterday. I'm sure he's going to heal up. He's going to be fine, but it's very uncomfortable while you have it. Jan Bernard, Merry Christmas from Ontario, Canada. Great to see you, Jan. Morgan Ashley, Buffalo is about to get lots of rain. No snow for Christmas. Morgan Ashley, I've told you, I think on different episodes, I'm an alumnus of Buffalo State College, the state system. I went to Nassau Community College, transferred from there, and went to Buffalo State College, where I got my undergraduate degree in broadcast journalism. And here, what is it, 40 something years later, I'm actually living the dream, being a podcaster, using my broadcasting skills. Princess Mitch, staying home, raining here in Arizona, making a pumpkin pie. Wow, that sounds good. Uh, Amanda Simpson having a sit down whilst the puppy is asleep. Mike Champlin, Merry Christmas, Bill, and everyone. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año felicidad. I remember that song from Jose Feliciano, made it sort of famous. And he also made the song famous, the Doors tune, I'll Light My Fire. He did his own version of it, and it was a huge, huge hit. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to go and tell you, girl, you couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Trying to set the night on fire. That was the Jose Feliciano version. The Doors version was much different. Aunt BB just finished sweet potato casserole. And listening to you, Bill. Great, Aunt BB. JD Bombara. Look at all that fruit on the screen. Bill Ryan from Ryan Investigative Group, up for last minute shopping. Wow, Bill, don't wait till the last minute. My God. This is last minute, right? Last minute shopping. It's easy. Bill, you know something? It's easier just to give money. Just say, hey, take this. Or gift cards. That's the best thing to get. Just buy some gift cards. You don't have to shop. Sometimes when you shop, you get the wrong thing anyway. You get the wrong size. You get something that the person that you're giving the gift to doesn't like. So the Gene Whitehead, thank you, Bill. You have a very good voice. Thank you so much. I like to sing. I play guitar. I like to sing and crooning with Cannon. No, this is Coffee with Cannon. and then not bitching with Bill. I'm not going to bitch today. There's nothing to bitch about. It should be a happy day. You know, the only thing that is sort of putting a little bit of a damper on this is the Omicron thing. It sort of splits families up that you can't go and uh, gather together because people are afraid to get it. My lifelong friend from Long Island, Ray Wideline, called me this morning and he told me that he's got it. Now, he's got to stay separate from his family on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I wonder how do you do that? How do you stay separate from your wife and, to not give it to your immediate family members? It's pretty damn hard to do. Richella Pranzo, Richella, yourself and Pete, thank you so much for sending me those chocolates. I really appreciate that. That was so nice of you guys. The Pranzos are two of our biggest fans, two of our biggest subscribers, two of our biggest supporters, and they've been with us for a while now. Actually, if I think of the continuation and sort of derivation of Police Off the Cuff, we started out recording in February 2019 in my living room, and it was Mark DeMeo and I. And then I was in the thick of doing comedy and all of that stuff. I was taking acting classes, and we didn't know about Streamyard. We didn't know how to do this live, and we had an engineer, and it was costing us like $100 well, it was $50 per episode. He was shooting on one day, we were shooting 2 episodes, but, it gets very expensive, and so then we wound up doing, we were shooting it down at the Sergeants Benevolent Association, 35 Worth Street for a while, and they had this great idea of, they were gonna do uh, sort of like a media, arm of the SBA, and it was gonna be called Inside Blue 360, and they had great ideas for it to put out content that was very pro-police, and for whatever reason, it never totally got off the ground. It was a great, great idea, never totally got off the ground. I'm sure that, uh, money, could have been an issue. Lieutenant Pete, great to see you. Harlem Raiders, thank you so much, Lieutenant Pete, and I just want you and Richella to know how much I and we at Police Off the Cuff / Real Crime Stories, and I'm sure Mark DeMeo on his Police Off the Cuff After Hours. We appreciate the Pranzos. Yeah, as I said, you've been with us from the beginning. You've been so supportive, and we love you here at Police Off the Cuff. Yeah, so anyway, I was talking about the history of this, and then COVID hit like 2 years ago. So we didn't know really what to do at that point, and we started doing Cheated No More. Good to see you. I haven't seen you around in a while. Cheated No More. Welcome, Dawn Marie. Thank you for being here. Uh, I know you guys are busy today, and you could have blown off coffee with Cannon, but I'm very happy that you guys are in the chat. Um, yeah, so we started doing it was via Zoom, and I didn't like Zoom. I didn't like the way Zoom sounded. Zoom was very unpredictable. Zoom could just cut out. There was a lot of bad things with when we use Zoom. And then I found this technology called StreamYard, which is what we use now. And it's really been fantastic. And we're able to upload videos, we're able to upload pictures, and visually and as far as audio, it sounds pretty damn good. Yeah, here's a picture right here for you. There's Coffee with Cannon. That's our old coffee mugs, the dipped in butter side of it, the Police Off the Cuff. And then I hooked up with Philly Grimaldi. Uh, that was actually a picture when we were at Bordeaux that belongs to retired NYPD Captain Joe Lisi. He's one of the owners. It's on 46th Street, and they actually honored us at a little night, a Police Off the Cuff night there. And Philly came because Philly had been on the show a bunch of times, and we had such a good time that night. It was really an honor to have all these cops. And the female cop and her partner, I remember there was a shooting in Times Square where 3 people were shot, and she sort of had her 10 minutes of fame. She picked up a 5-year-old kid and ran the kid to the ambulance, and she was there that night. It was an honor to meet her and her partner. Whenever cops do something good like that, I think they deserve to be recognized, and she was recognized that night at Bordeaux. I should have pulled up a picture of her because we had a great night that night. And if you guys don't know Joe Lisi, again, I should have pulled up a picture of Joe Lisi too. Joe Lisi is a retired captain. He's the most successful NYPD, former NYPD, even when he was active, actor. He's done over 100 TV shows, and you'd recognize Joe Lisi if I could pull up a picture of him. I'll see if I can do it later on. There I am. I think that was in Isla Morada last year in the Florida Keys. It was pretty amazing. And this was my old headshot when I was trying to pursue acting. I'm sure you've probably seen that before. And this is a picture of recently. I forget the exact date. We went out to dinner in Manhattan, and to the left there is Billy Kiley, Scotty Wagner, Tommy Lombardo, Paulie Morrison, who is the vice president of the Detective Endowment Association. Seated, retired Chief John Cutter, who incidentally picked up the check that night. We were all happy about that. Thank you, Chief. I thanked you before, but thank you very much. And also seated is Mike Ulaco and retired NYPD Detective John D'Alessio, who I worked with in the 2-3 squad. And standing is yours truly. We had a great night. It's always great to see people that you worked with because, once the thing you have most in common, of course, is the job. And once you're not on the job anymore, Betty Spaghetti, Merry Christmas to you. Also, what you're wishing. Duty Ron, how you feeling today, Duty Ron? Merry Christmas, Duty Ron. I'm glad to see you in the chat, which means you must feel a little better than you have been feeling. Matthew Kassler, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Very much appreciated. Susan from New Jersey, Merry Christmas. Betty Spaghetti, love that name. Ronnie Girl, 1971. Merry Christmas, friends. So, Duty Ron, you had a bad night, but you're okay today. That's great. I mean, just use whatever you got to use to clear, use those respiratory medicines that help you to feel better. We all go through that to a lesser extent. I'm sure not as bad, but from our 9/11 breathing problems, a lot of us have. I shouldn't say most of us, a lot of us have it, depending on how much time you spent down there. Linda Cosma, Merry Christmas to all in the Police Off the Cuff family. Amanda Simpson saying hello to Duty Ron. I don't know if you guys saw this the other night. Maybe I'm blowing my own horn too much, but if you haven't seen it, I want to just show you a little bit of this. And I've been getting called a lot to go on News Nation. And I guess I'd call myself a talking head. But they've called me a bunch. I've been on probably 9 to 10 times. And I'm going to show you a little bit of it from the other night. And what the premise is they pull up like a bunch of police scenarios and they show the video and then they have me comment on it. So here's from the other night. I believe it was the 22nd this was on, and I'll play a little bit of it.
This is up in your neck of the woods there. Actually, an officer in the Bronx on a traffic stop gets dragged and run over. Let's watch that. Oh, no. So the officer suffered a fractured ankle, but was okay. And you'll see her get up here. The car had been pulled over for expired temporary plates. But detective, this shows that, there's really no such thing as a routine traffic stop.
No, there isn't. But I'm bothered by the tactics in this stop. The tactics are poor because the first thing you should tell someone when you pull them over is to turn the car off, put the keys on top of the dashboard. This way, they have no way that they can run you over because the car's not running. That should be the first thing you say, especially when it's potentially a felony car stop. You don't play games with this stuff. And also, she had her body planted inside the car. That's a real bad idea in any circumstance.
Yeah. Let's talk about defunding the police, detective, because there are a lot of cities that are now rethinking the idea. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is now asking the feds for help, requesting ATF for 6 months to try to ramp up the number of gun investigations and seizures, more federal prosecutors as well, and also federal marshals. Is this unusual, and how would it work if they were to come into Chicago?
I think that it has to do with a lot of the incompetence of a lot of these politicians thinking that they could get away with defunding the police and crime is not going to go up. The people that should be doing the crime fighting in these areas are the police and not the feds. The feds come in, they don't know the area. They don't know how to police the area. They don't know the community. So to ask them to do the job that the police should be doing is ridiculous. And it's all on the politicians. Defunding the police is a horrendous idea. And now, a year later, they're realizing it? And because election time is next November. Is that what's coming to this aha moment that, maybe defunding the police was a bad idea? It's a ridiculous idea.
Well, the other side effect of this, or the byproduct, if you will, is that, as we reported recently, 1,000 cops are set to retire or resign in Chicago. Homicides are up, and this is the first indication, or a clear shift anyway, and an admission, I guess, from the mayor that the city needs help.
Joe, the biggest problem also is cops arrest people, and the district attorney's office posture these days is not to prosecute. So if there's no teeth in the law, the criminal element loses all respect for the police because they're going to get arrested. There's going to be a revolving door. This reminds me of the NYPD in 1985 when I first came on the job. There was like a revolving door. So many people were getting arrested, but they weren't being prosecuted and incarcerated. If there's no teeth in the law, then perpetrators are emboldened, like you see in these smash and grab robberies, like you see in the escalation of homicides across this nation, because there's no teeth and there's no prosecution.
Well, there's another situation in Burlington, Vermont, which cut 30% of its police force. And a year and a half later now, basically, Detective, no one's happy about it. And officers left in droves. They thought maybe with attrition it would take a year or years. It happened in months. And now there's an outcry for more police, and they're paying officers, I guess, $10,000, the remaining officers, to stay on the job.
If police officers these days are unhappy, they can go to other departments. I mean, Florida is recruiting people from all over the nation. There's departments all over this country that appreciate their police. When you get these woke communities that come up with these ridiculous ideas like defunding the police, and then 6 months or a year later, they go, oh my God, that wasn't a smart idea, was it? No, it wasn't. And now guess what? November's coming, and all of a sudden it's occurred to you because election time is coming up and you're going to be held accountable.
Well, we'll see what happens. But
so, as you could see, I have a good time doing that. I get to give my opinion. It's, maybe I come across too strong sometimes with my opinion, but that's how I feel. And if they're going to have me on the show, I'm going to tell the truth. And I find one of the things that is most amazing is when they talk about defunding the police, and then they're called upon it when crime skyrockets, and then they're going to be hiding. They're going to be running. Ruth Ann Griffin, thank you so much. As I said, they've been calling me a lot to be a talking head on this. And I'm going to, as long as I can, and they keep calling me, I'm going to give my heartfelt opinion because that's my expertise, policing. All right. I was also a criminal justice professor for over 10 years. So I know what I'm talking about. And when you see these woke politicians making up these ridiculous defund the police and expecting nothing to occur, nothing to happen. Like, no, what's going to happen is the victims. You don't care about the victims. And that's the problem with defunding the police. We're seeing things that we hadn't seen since, the late 80s, early carjackings. Carjackings have come back. That was unheard of for like 10 or 15 years, 20 years during the whole New York City Compstat thing. You weren't hearing about carjackings. Now, guess what? They're back. Shootings are skyrocketing. Murders are up nationally 30%. Oh, gee, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. This whole woke philosophy of not punishing criminals, and this, in New York, we spoke about it ad nauseum. This bail reform is a disaster. And this new district attorney that takes office in January, He's from that woke philosophy of decarceration and not prosecuting a myriad of crimes. One of the worst things they took away powers of from the police was taking away the arrest powers, not the arrest powers, but taking away theft of service for jumping the turnstiles. And for you guys that don't understand or are not privy to the law, once someone jumps the turnstile and it's a misdemeanor, you have what's called, you can arrest them for that misdemeanor, and you have what's called search incidental to lawful arrest. So they automatically get searched once they're arrested. And guess what? They're recovering guns left and right, because that someone's carrying a gun on the subway is going to pay his fare? I don't think so. You think someone that's going to go into the subway system and commit robberies, you think they're paying their fare? No, I don't think so. So that tool was a great tool for police to use to get the bad guys out of the system. And the brilliant district attorneys, the city council, all these geniuses, politicians, that's right, Duty Ron. The acronym is SILA, SILA, Search Incidental to Lawful Arrest. And they've taken away these amazing tools that the police had. And, stop, question, and frisk. Stop, question, and then possibly frisk. The press loves to say stop and frisk. It was never called stop and frisk. You invented that to disparage the police. It was always called stop, question, and frisk. All right. And they like to think of taking that away from the police also. You mentioned that to a lot of woke people in New York City. I'm like, oh my God, stop and frisk. What a violation of civil rights. No, it's not. It's in the Constitution. And it's a tool. It's called a Terry stop. And it's a tool that the police have had for years. And you cannot take that away from them. You can inhibit them from conducting it because there's a page full of rules that they have to be 1,000% correct in order to not have the onus put on them to stop someone that potentially has a firearm on them. And who are the losers of this? The public. The public are the losers, because the streets are going to be unsafe. We've been watching all of those smash and grabs throughout the country, and all of a sudden people are like, oh my God. And like, what is that a result of? That's a result of, again, district attorneys not prosecuting, right? Not prosecuting people. That's the resulting. I'm going to show you a little bit of video of this. This is so horrendous. But this is a smash and grab. And this is what happens when you don't prosecute and when you don't have the police targeting this type of crime.
Of crimes breaking out across the Golden State.
Smash and grabs, luxury store shakedowns, the pillaging of department stores.
Authorities investigating the latest. This jewelry repair shop in a San Jose mall, $70,000 worth of goods stolen in just 12 seconds. The governor insisting the system is in place that can fix the problem.
Police need to arrest them. Prosecutors need to prosecute them. Judges need to hold people accountable.
This week, officials in Los Angeles announcing the arrest of 14 individuals connected to recent smash and grab robberies.
They work to steal from high-end clothing stores, often using weapons and physical force.
But critics say more action is needed.
They only made 14 arrests in 11 incidents, where at least one of these incidents involved 20 people.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti calling for an end to the county's no bail policy for some offenders that some say is fueling the surge in crime. This year, criminal activity up more than 8% in San Francisco, and in Los Angeles, violent crime rising almost 6%. In Beverly Hills, philanthropist Jacqueline Avant shot dead in her home earlier this week, a suspect caught hours later robbing a house nearby. All this putting California residents on edge.
Literally every block there was police cars, police on motorcycles, bikes.
Oh my God, this is disaster. This is so scary. Now, the governor in California says that state highway patrol officers are being brought in to help beef up local police in some areas, while many of the products that have been stolen during these smash and grab robberies are expected to be sold for profit. Those sales often expose the thieves, giving investigators a chance to catch them. Peter, Kristen.
Amazing. None of this stuff is brand new, but of course the media acts as if. CR Patrick, thank you so much for that $50 super sticker. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you for supporting Police Off the Cuff. That's so nice of you. There's an old adage, if you want to make war with the police, then make friends with the criminals. And this is what we're seeing all over this nation, is we're seeing people, just governments, politicians specifically. I can't hide my disdain for politicians because it's all about power to them. And I don't think they take into consideration the people that are going to work every day, the people that are doing the right thing, supporting their family. And these are the people that are the victims. And especially in the inner cities, the people that are going to work every single day, they have to live among these criminals that they're pacifying, that they're, bail reform. My God. Here's another one, an amazing story. I'm going to show you. And this is another one, a carjacking of a Democratic politician. And as I said, carjackings had gone away for a long time. Guess what? Now they're coming back. They're coming back. And here we go. Let me just show you this.
Continues in the city of brotherly love as a Democrat congresswoman is carjacked in broad daylight just one day after a city police officer was shot while responding to an armed robbery. Joining me now, Philadelphia criminal justice attorney Bill Brennan. Bill, thanks so much for being with us today. And look, we're going to get to that carjacking in a moment, as well as all these liberal politicians seeming to deny there is a spike in crime. But first of all, I just want to read some stats to you. Year to date, the 2020 homicide stat is up 13%. Robbery involving a gun up 28.6%. Cars stolen up 15.4%. So to set the scene, what are you seeing? Is this a reality?
Well, unfortunately, Benjamin, it is. I've been born and raised in the Philadelphia area, and I've been practicing in the area of criminal defense almost 35 years, and I've never seen anything like it. It's frightening, frankly. And Congresswoman Scanlon was carjacked at gunpoint yesterday at FDR Park, which is a major destination in the city. It's out of control, Benjamin.
That's right, and she was a staunch supporter herself of police reforms, particularly in the aftermath of the George Floyd death in May 2020. Here's what Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney said on the carjacking. He said, "Everyone deserves to feel safe in our city, and sadly that hasn't always been the case this year. It is disheartening and infuriating that criminals feel emboldened to commit such reckless crime in the middle of the day in what should be a place of peace, one of our city's parks." I just wonder what you think about some of these liberal politicians who seem to be denying the fact that that such crimes exist. And let me just also play a soundbite for you from the Philadelphia DA, who walked back some crime surge doubts, but admittedly started off saying they didn't exist.
There is not a big spike in crime. That is not true. There is also not a big spike in violent crime. Neither one of these things is true. I failed in not acknowledging that pain and that suffering.
Well, so he acknowledges that he didn't acknowledge the pain and the suffering, but he was saying that this crime didn't exist, that he didn't see it. How are they not seeing the stats that you have so clearly pointed to earlier?
Benjamin, I don't know. I've known these two gentlemen most of my entire adult life. Jim Kenney came up through the ranks. He was a neighborhood guy. Came through our city council system, and he should know better, frankly. And Larry Krasner was a fine lawyer for many years. He was a criminal defense lawyer, as a matter of fact. How you cannot see it or deny it is beyond the pale. I saw that former mayor Michael Nutter wrote an op-ed and some of the national newspapers picked it up, where he called Mr. Krasner out. And, you know, I have to agree with him. I was driving home from a holiday celebration the other night in the heart of Center City and couldn't get through the street because some young guys on ATVs and motorbikes were just blocking traffic, laughing, you know, circling cars. It's the Wild West. It's Dodge City. And it's a damn shame. It really is. Philadelphia is a wonderful, welcoming city, and it's become really just out of control. Very frustrating for me as a lifelong Philadelphian.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, Bill. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today.
So amazing. And Gina G writes, Bill, I was born and raised in Philly and left in 2020. Mayor Kenny and DA Krasner are two clowns. They don't back the police and should be held accountable and removed from office. That's pretty harsh words, but I can feel your pain there. And you know, the amazing thing is that you cannot argue with statistics. And in every city, the crime statistics are kept. The 7 major crimes is what we rate the police on, and the 7 major crimes are kept very specifically, and the statistics do not lie. And you get these woke politicians, and I need more time than I have today to talk about what this is. This is all about the end goal is something called decarceration. And what that is, they don't want to put people in jail. They don't want to put people in prison because they feel the USA is a mean country because we incarcerate more people than any other country. So they're trying all these European models of corrections where you do something called diversion. Instead of putting someone and punishing someone, you make alternatives like go see a counselor. Mickey Mantle, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for the 20 pounds, it looks like. Super chat. Merry Christmas, Bill and family. Time to break out the Baileys. Absolutely, I'm going to break out the Baileys tonight. And some really good red wine. My wife's cooking a ham and this English-style pasta that's amazing that she learned from her boss. Amazing. It's good to have different cultures. Kimberly Myers, great to see you. Duty Ron, again, great to see you in the chat. I'm glad you're feeling better today. Folks, this whole Omicron thing has sort of put a little bit of damper, but hopefully we're gonna get through this. You know, we could put this behind us. So I was talking about the whole thing, diversion. You know, that's where these the woke politicians come up with a thing of paying gangbangers not to shoot each other. That's brilliant. Yeah, that's gonna work. You know, instead of realizing that the people that walk these streets, the people that pay the taxes, the people that are their constituents, the people that vote, that's who they should be protecting, not the criminal element. You know, it's incredible. It's just there was another carjacking. There was one in Philly, and then there was another one here. There's one in Chicago. Let me show you the one in Chicago. It's like unbelievable. And I said carjackings weren't around for a while. Now all of a sudden they're back on the scene. And here's the one that occurred in Chicago. And here we go.
Kimberly Lightford is carjacked by armed gunmen.
Nate Rogers uncovered new video of the incident. He's live for us tonight in Broadview. Nate?
Yeah, that's right, guys. You know, the irony of it all, just 20 minutes before this brazen attack, Broadview was having their annual holiday parade, many families and vehicles going down the same street that Senator Kimberly Lightford was robbed and carjacked. Folks saying tonight that they're definitely watching their surroundings.
Anything happen anywhere. That's all I can say.
Broadview residents shaken, but not in disbelief. The latest carjacking victim, Senate Majority Leader Kimberly Lightford.
Heard about 15 gunshots.
Here's surveillance video of the thieves leaving the area. Broadview police say 3 masked individuals hijacked Lightford's Mercedes SUV around 9:45 Tuesday night. Her husband was driving at the time. The two were dropping off a friend here along 20th Avenue.
I was trying to get down.
Sam Douglas says that friend was about to style his wife's hair inside their home. Douglas says he heard at least 15 gunshots before the senator and her husband were ordered out of their vehicle. How do you feel about that, man? Is it frightening, scary to you?
No, it happens every day. I mean, every day I look at the news and you see this every day.
Fortunately, the couple was not injured. Lightfoot issued a statement in part saying, "I am thankful that my husband and I are alive and physically unharmed. I am trying to process the trauma of what happened. I want to thank everyone who has offered their love and support."
Checking my surroundings every time. You know, it's dark. It gets dark early, so you got to be mindful.
Amazing, right? How about the posture of that gentleman that said, "Is this unusual?" No, it happens all the time. Is that the normal we want in our lives? Is that you accept carjackings and shots fired as a normal everyday thing? That's scary, right? That's scary. And in Chicago, where now they're calling for the feds because the mayor of Chicago she was behind the defunding of the police. And she's an anti-police politician. Now all of a sudden she wants the feds to do the job in her community? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. How about doing the right thing by the police and let the police do their job? I mean, pathetic. And then there was another, I think it was also in Chicago, where a groom was robbed. See if I can find that one. In Philadelphia, a groom who was getting married was robbed on his wedding night. I mean, how about that? I mean, he goes out, I don't know, have a cigarette or just goes outside to get away. And it's like incredible. Let me see if I can pull this one up for you.
Are investigating yet another instance of a person targeted by robbers while simply standing on the sidewalk. This time, the bandits went after a groom who had just gotten married. This latest incident happened last night in Old City just after 11:30 outside National Mechanics Restaurant on South 3rd Street. The groom stepped outside during their wedding reception, and that's when police say two men approached him and stole his Rolex watch. The two suspects then drove off. No arrests have been made. Bob Brooks' report on the other robberies is posted on 6abc.com.
Imagine that. "Sir, congratulations on your marriage. Let me give me that Rolex." It's like crazy. But when good people accept this stuff as normal, it's not normal. And when people accept it, that's when we're going to have some real problems, Crystal Champion, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. John Vantassel, Merry Christmas. I have to go back into the chat. Miss Demina, Merry Christmas. Peter Miller, Betty Spaghetti, you've been here for a while. So, I don't want to dwell on the negative, but, it's something that we have to stay aware of. This is obviously a police podcast, and we highlight some of the things happening in policing. And I couldn't help but look at this. Mickey Mantle, thanks again for the super chat, 20-pound super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I just want everyone that supports Police Off the Cuff, real crime stories, to have a wonderful wonderful Christmas Eve. We got a little dusting of snow here in Westchester. I was almost tempted to do the show outside, and then I thought better of it. I thought, something, let me stay warm inside, and I can do more on the computer than I can actually do on the phone. But, I chose to do it inside. So here I am. I'm toasty warm, but I could have chosen to do it outside, but I didn't. Jeff Denoya, Merry Christmas. Good to see you. Folks, I recognize almost everyone in the chat, but if there's someone that is in the chat that's not subscribed to Police Off the Cuff, please go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. We also have a Patreon with 3 levels. You could support us there. Or I notice all you folks with the green font are channel members of YouTube. And I've been trying to put some more exclusive channel membership content for you guys. And just as I say, this is a full-time job. Lieutenant Pete, Harlem Raiders, is always with us in the chat. Eva Veden, no snow in East Texas. Susan from New Jersey, Merry Christmas, Bill, and the police off the cuff family. Guys, I'm coming up on 40 minutes. It goes so fast when I'm with you guys. And I jokingly say, half jokingly and half truth, talking to you guys, doing the coffee with Cannon is like therapy for me. It's great. It keeps me healthy. It keeps me optimistic. It keeps me among friends. And I'm so looking forward. Duty Ron at Bill Cannon under Ed Koch, Democrat, and the Dinkins Democrat. We saw record crime in the New York City area. Then come Republicans, Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and we see record drops in all 7 majors. Proof that the Democratic mayors aren't behind the crime fighting. They come up with these, what do you call it? Woke ideas, progressive ideas. Fighting crime is not reinventing the wheel. We know how to do it. It's just whether the government entities have the wherewithal to do what's necessary. And we have a new mayor now in New York City, Eric Adams, who's a former police captain. We'll see how he does. Let's give him a chance. But we also have a new district attorney by the name of Bragg, who is a former U.S. attorney who's coming in with all these progressive ideas of not prosecuting. So you can have the greatest police department on earth. If the district attorney's office does not prosecute, it's going to just be a horrendous situation. The same violent people a police arrest are going to be out the next day doing the same crimes, and the police are going to have to engage these perps again. So these are the problems that we're going to have in 2022. And stay tuned. Angela Eng, thank Angie. So great to see you. I hope Joe's not working his fingers to the bone. Joe Murray, our great friend and attorney. I hope he's taking some time off. I know you said he's super, super busy this time of year. He's got all kinds of trials coming up. And I haven't even seen you guys do Allegedly Guilty, your podcast. That's how busy you guys have been. But Angie, we appreciate everything you've done throughout the year. Army Mum 13, Merry Christmas, everyone. Gina G. You Italians all have the Feast of the 7 Fishes tonight. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. I gotta get invited by some of my Italian friends one of these days. But Christmas Eve, I'm not going to leave my family, even though I would love to test out some of that fish. Crystal Champion. It's a crying shame, not worth risking your life or facing prison with any mistake. Guys, I want to Anonymous 14107. We have another real call effort to get Gascon booted out of office. Crime is out of control here in LA. Soros donated millions to Gascon's campaign and is backing his recall fight. Yeah, there's too much money in politics where people that have a lot of money can affect the races in the way that they want them to go. Anyway, folks, again, now I'm at 43 minutes. I'm talking for too long. I just want to wish everyone, all you police off the cuff, people that have supported us throughout the year and have been on this channel, helped make us I think, a really damn good channel. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year, and have a great Christmas Eve and a great Christmas Day. And God bless everybody. Thank you so much.